Damn delays. Hate that.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
And welcome to the show. This is the One Ass Cheek and 3 Toes. Got my guys here, Mr. BA and Jay Weezy. Fellas, I can't keep doing this, man, but the Lions lose another game. Let's just dive into it. Lions lose 23-10. Just got manhandled and outplayed again. Not a lot to talk about. Murphy's Law, everything went wrong. So what do y'all see?
What's up, Austin?
What's up? How you doing? Happy New Year,
Jay. You want to go, Jay?
Yeah,
You want to go?
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go. Truth be told, this season was a complete utter failure. Reason being, because we came in the season, injuries, whatever happened, and we were one of the Super Bowl favorites. I'm not sure where they were. I can't really go back and see what they were when they first started the season, but expectation in this town was Super Bowl. You were getting Aiden Hutchinson back. You were getting a lot of pieces healthy back on defense and offense, whoever was missing. And the whole country wanted to see the Lions possibly go to the Super Bowl this season. Didn't do it. Now, obviously, we know injuries happen throughout the season, but not only the injuries, but I mean, really, let's be honest. Replacing coordinators played a big part in that too. During halfway through the season, you had the head coach taking the offensive plays away from the coordinator, not giving him a chance, whether you agree with it or not. And I mean, really, since then, the ship just sank right after that. If you really think about it, the offense didn't seem like they were playing with fire. Offense didn't seem like that they were really motivated enough. Even though you had a couple Pro Bowlers out there, the offense looked sluggish. It looked slow plenty of times. Predictable play calling held them back. It was a lot of things. So everything leading up into this Minnesota game was just kind of the epitome of what the actual, because you got Brosmer out there, a third string quarterback going out there only passing for 3 yards. And they had negative 3 yards passing up until the fourth quarter. You understand what I'm saying? You didn't have Justin Jefferson out there catching passes, Jordan Addison catching passes, Hawkinson. That offense didn't look good at all. You know what really looked good? The defense. Defense went out there, got, 6 turnovers?
Yep.
Forced 6 turnovers, man. And that was not the Lions. I don't care what anyone said. That was not that Lions team that we seen earlier in the year, and it wasn't the Lions team we seen last year. So, yeah, man, it was heartbreaking because even if the Lions were to lose, I wouldn't be upset. It was how you lost. Right. It was with everything on the line, your playoff hopes still on the line, your pride to play for it, everything that you said you stand for whenever it came to biting kneecaps off, playing with grit, not being hard to find, you lost your way. And it was heartbreaking because how do you bounce back from something like this?
Yep. Go ahead, B.
Well, all I gotta say is I kind of put this pretty much on the coaches this season. Dan Campbell's going to have to sit there and look himself in the mirror and find out what he did wrong during the season, because he did quite a few things wrong in the season. I mean, taking the play calling away from Morton, that was to me, I didn't like that call at all. Let the guy fall on his face if he's going to fall on his face. And I'll just leave him alone until you give him a reason to take that play calling duty. Why the hell did you even hire him on the staff if you thought that he wasn't going to do what he was going to do? He's not Ben Johnson, okay? Let's get that straight. But he's capable of running the offense way the hell better than you did, okay? He won 4 games in a row. Mm-hmm. He ended up 5-3 by the time you took the reins away from you. And then, Dan, look what you did, man. You're predictable in play calling. You turned out to be 3-5. I don't give a damn about the stats going up. That's just because the players are getting better as the season was going on.
Well, you have good talent around, so yeah, your offense is.
And 3-5, dude. 3-5. Coaches are based on their wins and losses. Okay, players aren't. The coaches are. Right. And when you're 3-5 after you take over the play calling, that should tell you something right there. You can't run the ball. Jameer didn't have no kind of game in the last 4 games. And some of that I kind of blame on him too, just a little bit, because you have to go out there and find you some holes, you know. Everybody wants to compare him to Barry Sanders, which I never do anyway.
Let me just throw that in there real quick, B, because I think with Jahmyr Gibbs, the fact is Dan's a green play caller. Again, we talked about he hasn't been play calling a lot for the Lions. This is where a legit play caller comes into play, because when you take away somebody's left hand, you have to find ways to utilize the other players. And Dan, I love Dan, but he is not that type of guy. He is not an X's and O's scheme kind of dude.
Nope.
And that's where you need a guy to scheme it up. And he didn't do that. And so everybody just took away Jahmyr Gibbs all the time. Yeah.
That is okay. And one thing that really kind of ticked me off, B, like, I'm not going to say I placed a lot of blame on Jahmyr Gibbs, because he was only doing what the coach told him to. He could only run the plays that they threw up for him. He was very effective on the outside, bouncing out to the outside. David Montgomery is the guy that you want to run in the A and B gaps right up the middle, because he can average 4.5, 5 yards per carry. But for some odd reason, they went away with that, and they used Jahmyr Gibbs as the power horse and rarely used David Montgomery. I was puzzled. I don't know why, but why? I want to know why that happened. So yeah,
he's not a scheme guy. He doesn't know how to scheme up players and get them in better positions.
If that's the case, I want to know, what do you do going forward from here after this week when they play this?
Well, they got to get a play caller. That's what they got to do. Period.
Exactly. And do Dan Campbell go out and get a play caller, or is he going to take this learning experience here, like he says, and take it into next season to try to get better and try to, go into next season being a play caller again?
If he does that, he's going to mess this team all up.
He's not. He's going
to lose a lot of players.
He's going to go get a play caller. He's
going to lose a lot of players. He is a head coach. He's one of those head coaches that you motivate your coaches and you motivate your players, and you look over the game plan and say, okay, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. And you might throw in a couple of, fourth down plays, because that's what kind of guy you are. But other than that, you leave the offensive and the defensive coordinator alone. Let them do their job. That's what they're there for.
I agree.
Or just offer encouragement, or offer some kind of, maybe suggestions. But yeah, you don't want to take away anybody's calling duties. That, like Jay said, that's why you hire him for the reason.
He needs to, if you ask me, I think he needs to pull a Nick Sirianni and go out there and hire someone to go out there and do the play calling, because
Nick Sirianni's fucking OC.
He's kind of in the same boat. Yeah. Like, last year he had Kellen Moore, right? Kellen Moore was one of the best offensive play callers in the league last year, behind Johnson, Shanahan, possibly, right? So when you look at that, he needs to go out there and hire somebody that can really know how to use his players. Now, with that being said, you are going to risk losing them in the future, because if they're a good play caller, then obviously they'd be head coaching candidates. But you have to go out there, one, and get an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. I know I've spoken over the past couple of days where I said maybe they bring Kelvin Shepherd back, but let's be honest here. What can Kelvin Shepherd learn from this season? And do you want to give him another season with the players that you have to go out there? And
you got to build continuity, man. We can't go another year with 2 new coordinators. I think,
know something? I would. It's one person out there, 2 people out there that I would actually try to pick up. One, a lot of people are going to be like, hell no. Brian Flores is one of them.
He's not going anywhere, man. They're going to he's going to stay with the Vikings. Either he's going to stay with the Vikings, or he's going to the Cowboys.
He ain't got a contract yet. You go out there,
he'll probably get a head coaching job.
Yeah,
make him the highest
waiting for
paid,
a coaching job.
If he don't get a head coaching job, make him the highest paid defensive coordinator out there.
That's what the Vikings want to do. They're ready to make him the highest paid defensive coordinator. But Brian Flores is waiting for head coaching jobs. He wants to be a head coach.
I don't know. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Brian Flores, I mean, his name is kind of dirty right now, considering everything that happened back in Miami a couple of years ago. I know a lot of people kind of overlook that, but Brian Flores is a proven head coach. He's a proven good defensive coordinator, and he still hasn't been in talks for head coaching position.
That's a long shot. That's a really long shot because
I think
that
it's a little bit closer than what you may think, but I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You will never get that girl until you ask her out. And
Minnesota lost out on Darnold. I don't think they're going to lose out on their DC. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah, he does.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know.
He does. He does still have an open
it's a bad situation with the NFL. He's gonna stay with Minnesota.
Getting a head coaching gig with a team if he still has an open lawsuit, allegedly. I
mean, he's gonna still try anyway.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
And if he gets, he's gonna get paid by Minnesota. There's no doubt about that. They're not gonna let him go. But the thing is, if for whatever reasons they can't come to an agreement, Dallas is already waiting there, literally there to go pick him up for defensive
coordinator.
Yeah, Jerry Jones, he'll throw money out.
Look, if you want to be considered serious and do something, man, you got to do the same thing. And I over sitting down thinking about it, I don't know if Kelvin Shepard, if he's fit for the job. Now, I know a couple weeks ago, last week, I said, man, you got to bring Shepard back. He's learning. You kind of groomed him to be where he is, but you had time to learn. Over time, you got worse. You got worse and worse. Didn't make the proper adjustments needed, and it really fucked the team over, especially the defense.
Losing half your secondary, your whole secondary doesn't help either.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the injury aspect, but every team has injuries. Chicago has injuries. Yeah. San Francisco has injuries.
And let me pause you on that. Every team does have injuries.
Uh-huh.
It's not about injuries. It's about the significance of the people that you lose in those positions. I hate that argument. Oh, everybody has injuries. Well, okay. Then if you're losing your second string person to an injury, that don't make no damn difference. But if you're losing 3 out of your 4 starters on defense.
But hold up.
San Francisco still has players on there that are starters, though.
Robert Saleh was a fucking head coach before. He's one of the best defensive coordinators.
Players are out.
Yeah,
you're comparing apples and oranges. Robert Saleh is a proven head coach, and he's a proven defensive coordinator. Kelvin Shepard has never been a DC in his whole year.
You kind of see how we have this imbalance here. So if you know that injuries happen and you don't have a good defensive coordinator with proven experience, then you have to make the adjustment somewhere. We can't sit here and say, hey, on one hand, we don't have the players, and then on top of that, we just still want the defensive coordinator right here to learn, and we want to give him however much time we need for him to learn. Something has to give somewhere, because while there may be injuries on a team, yes, it'll happen anywhere. That's where the defensive coordinator and the head coach
comes in. The only way I'm getting rid of Ray Shepard
possibly can
is if Dick LeBeau walked through the door, because I'm not getting rid of him for nothing. Hell no. Because I'm going to tell you something. Keep the consistency. We got to get an OC because Dan Campbell fucked that up. So that's the reason why we got to get an OC.
Definitely not an OC.
The result of the defensive coordinator because of the OC play is the reason why Detroit's bad too. When you call bad calls and you put your defense in bad positions, you already don't have almost all your secondary. You're playing with big Bobs off the street. Bob the plumber and Bob the builder, whoever got in the back corner. Yeah, you're not going to do. We had too many injuries at one area of our team that screwed us up. If you remember last year, Kirby and Brian Branch played the whole season just about.
No Carlton Davis,
and they didn't have. But the Carlton Davis didn't make it. I could care fuck about the Carlton Davis. I could care. Arnold played all right.
When he was out,
Amika Robinson played great last year. But you know the reason why those players played right?
He's the only one that played
great last year.
Yeah.
Because guess who was back there? Kirby and Brian Branch. That's why. Those are the guys that are quarterback of that area.
Was good, but if you remember also, there was a couple of people who were out as well, even at the linebacking core. The only one you had starting that was a part of the linebackers was Anzalone until he went down for a couple of weeks with a forearm.
I'm gonna ask you a question. You take away somebody's whole secondary, you think they're gonna win games?
It's possible that they can, depending on how good their front four is.
Name me one team that lost their whole secondary and one got to the playoffs.
I can't really do it offhand right now, but
I'm going to tell you, there's none. No one lost all 4 players in their secondary.
I'm telling you. Well, the thing is that the Lions didn't lose just all of them at one time. Everything happened gradually.
But they lost them all for significant amounts of time.
Yeah.
They lost. Literally, Zeke Robinson was the only guy that played all season.
And on top of this,
we lost Branch, 2-3 weeks ago? It wasn't like he didn't play the whole season. The Lions were still struggling with Branch.
But listen here. First of all this happened coincided when Dan Campbell took over the offensive play call.
I agree.
Did you notice that?
So
Calvin Shepard played very. The defensive coordinator played his part. Remember when they had played Tampa Bay, and just about all their secondary, but Brian Branch wasn't in there, and they killed Tampa Bay. Well, there you go. So, and Calvin Shepard came up with a good game plan against the Baltimore Ravens too. It's Calvin Shepard is not the issue, okay? Dan Campbell is the issue in this whole thing. He is the one that imprinted this whole situation on week 9 when he decided to take over the play calling. Dumbass, if you can't call plays better than Morton, then you shouldn't have got rid of Morton. And you're too predictable. You're making the defense do things they're not supposed to be doing because you can't have the offense out there. When you can't run the ball, you're forcing Goff to do all kinds of stuff. And then people blame Goff because, oh, my God, he threw 3. Dude still has 7 interceptions. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And he was doing career stuff before that last game. And that was without an offensive line.
Yeah,
Give me a break.
Yeah,
stop blaming Goff.
Yeah,
Dan Campbell needs to be put in front and center and be held responsible for this whole season because he is the one that fucked it up.
Well,
yeah, you can't blame
the line.
I hate the people who blame Goff because while Goff, he turned the ball over. I understand that you can blame him for some of that, but it was like, dude, before Goff even the receiver were even able to make the breaks on their routes, he was already facing pressure. You had people in the face already. He had to throw the ball in there. This shit happens.
Like that pass, the first pass he threw, there was an interception. He had like 3 or 4 people coming at him. I could just see, I could see it the way he threw it. He was like, man, fuck it. He just threw it up there because he's trying to make a play. I got people in my face.
I have to ask for anybody that say, well, he's not mobile. Okay, so do you think it's okay that your quarterback has to run for his life as much as Goff would have to, being under as much pressure he's in? He's one of the most pressured quarterbacks in the league right now. If somebody can look that up in real time, I'm sure.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying about Dan. He's the head of the snake. You have to get your stuff right. If you're not the OC or you don't feel like you can do it and be competent on it, you have to either pass it back or figure something else out and let somebody else take over. I totally agree with you. But I will not sit here and act like the line was all perfect either. The line was ass. It was trash. We could not run the football. We could not protect the ball or protect Goff. So, you know what? I'm going to put a lot of blame on Hank Fraley, too. And another reason, too, that Hank deserves more blame is, he's the run game coordinator, too. That was his promotion to keep him in Detroit. And our run game was shit all year. So Hank takes a huge, big blame on this along with Dan.
It does.
Because the line regressed. They didn't get better, and we could not run the ball worth of shit the whole season. You look at all the common theme all season. We didn't run under every loss. We ran under 100 yards.
You have to help your team out, and that falls on Brad Holmes. You got rid of Zeitler. If they would have just kept Zeitler, even if Ragnar retired, if they would have kept Zeitler, that line would have been better.
Maybe one player would not. Losing Frank was the big loss. Losing Frank because you cannot replace an All-Pro in Frank Ragnar.
Agreed.
You cannot do that. Zeitler would have helped, yes, but you still had rookies. You still had fucking Decker struggling at times. Like, if you look at all the PFF grades, the only guys that he...
But the point I'm trying to make is Zeitler is a senior guy in the middle of that, in the interior of that line. One. Mm-hmm. Two, they wouldn't have been using Glasgow the way they were doing if they felt that Ratliff they could have put him at center, and you got Zeitler right there. Zeitler could be like, hey, dude, this is what you got to do as a center, blah, 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 because I've been here, I've been done that. That would have solidified. Like, communication is the essence of that interior line. There was no communication going on with three rookies and a guy that can't play center in the first place.
No
okay?
whatsoever. Yes.
And it's unfortunate that happened. But again, like I said, that falls on Brad Holmes because, dude, you should have kept that guy. I don't give a damn if he wanted to go see his family in Tennessee or not. Pay his ass some money. Pay his ass some money.
It clearly wasn't the money.
It's money talks.
It wasn't the
money
money.
Talks.
He didn't get paid a lot. If you look at his contract,
money talks. That's why you throw money at him to make him stay here. Make it worth his while. If you tell him, well, I don't know, I can only offer you, $1 million for the next season. Yeah, of course he's going to go somewhere else.
You can tell somebody anything you want, but they don't have to listen to you.
But money talks.
But he did get paid more in Tennessee.
It wasn't a lot.
And he's playing on a shit offensive line.
Money talks. I highly doubt it was all because he wanted to be a little bit closer to his family. They paid him more money down there than what the Lions were offering.
The Lions had a bunch of money. It wasn't a money thing. They could have paid him what he wanted.
They could have.
They were not their fault then. They were not paying him.
They could have. The thing
they did the same thing to Ben Johnson. You don't want Ben Johnson to go where pay his ass. And they kept doing that.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Yes.
Ben Johnson was going to fucking leave. He was
going to leave a couple of years before when they
foaming
paid him.
at the mouth.
What happened, B?
He was foaming at the mouth about Caleb Williams.
Washington Commanders.
Let's stop that.
What happened when the Washington Commanders came to interview Ben Johnson before they hire you?
But they didn't know that he had Jaden Daniels. If they had Jaden Daniels, he might have actually took the job.
No,
but they didn't know they were going to get Jaden Daniels.
Caleb Williams specifically. I think he knew he wanted Caleb Williams.
Fine, yeah, he's foaming at the mouth about Caleb. He would talk about that after his pressers.
That comment right there. That comment right there, absolutely. Losing
Zeitler was a big loss too. I mean, Ragnar was huge, but Zeitler, you can't let those kind of guys go.
I think losing them both simultaneously really threw off the balance of the offensive line.
Of course, yeah, because you're starting to.
One of them would be keeping a veteran on the interior part of the D line, and you still could have coached someone up. I think that would have been the best option at that point in time. But the Lions, really, let's just be honest. Next year, I don't foresee the Lions being that same team that we think that they could be, even next year. I think it's going to be very hard. Why? Because there are going to be a couple people wanting contracts, including Sam Laporta. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be up for a contract. Jack Campbell is going to be up for a contract. And we just paid out a massive amount of money to a couple players. Yeah. What do you do now?
Well, they're going to do what they always do. They're going to sign their own that they feel are.
If they do that, they're fucked.
Okay, Jay. Then
I guarantee you,
man.
They're
because
fucked.
you know everything. You know everything.
Wait, time out.
That don't mean shit.
Hold on, B. Wait. Let me listen to this dude talk. Go ahead, Nate, before I bust the bubble, bro. Go ahead.
No, because once again, we're fucked. Okay, well, why are we fucked? No, because you act like injuries weren't a problem. You act like we didn't have any experience on the line.
Every season, Nate.
Okay, Jay.
Fucking injuries happen every season.
I'm done with you, bro. Go be a fan somewhere else. Go be a fan somewhere else.
You're not going to wait for y'all. Fuck that. I'm not done. One, you paid over $1 billion to Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell,
poor player,
Herbie Joseph, and Jared Goff. You pay over $1 billion. Guess what's going to happen next year? Jared Goff
we don't have those players. We don't have any wins. How about that?
Jared Goff is going to be owed $74 million, which is they're going to have to reconstruct his contract. Guess who else is going to be looking for a contract? Oh yeah, the hurt Brian Branch who's coming off of an Achilles injury. Then Sam Laporta is going to want a bag. Who do you fucking pay? Jahmyr Gibbs is going to want a bag.
That's why they're the front office. They'll have to figure it out.
Why the fuck time out. Why the fuck would you make Jahmyr Gibbs the highest paid running back in the league, knowing damn well he can go on a franchise tag for 5? He can go on a franchise tag on his 5th year.
They're going to look at every option, Jay, but they're going to sign their own players. I've told you over and over again. That's what they do.
That's why they'll be players. You want to know why? Because we did that this year. What happened to us? People got hurt, right or wrong.
All right.
And I think one of those guys we paid a massive amount of money to got hurt too and didn't get to play the whole season. He only played like 4 games. What was his name, Nate? Who's the highest paid safety in the league right now, Nate?
Kirby Joseph.
Okay, what happened to Kirby Joseph?
He got fucking hurt.
Okay, thank you very much. So why would you?
Okay, but did we see that happening when we paid him the money? No, we did not.
Huh?
We did not see him getting hurt. Shit
Well,
happens.
first of all-
It's football.
Well, first of all,
Kirby Joseph getting hurt.
If teams want to keep players and like Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't know about Sam Laporta too much. But
find a way to keep them.
they're gonna there's guys that can be axed that aren't as detrimental to the team, and they can still keep players that are. Jahmyr Gibbs will stay.
They're going to cut a lot of veterans. They're going to cut a lot of
They
veterans.
are going to, what they're going to do is if this team wants to win, they're probably going to go to the veterans that have already got contracts that just got signed and say if they want to take rearrange their pay their contracts so that they can get some more money out so they can pay the guys that they need to be on the team. That happens to every team. Okay, every team does that. That's not the problem, but you are going to have to get rid of people. So, to me, I like Sam Laporta, but I'm going to tell you something.
Our offense struggled without Sam Laporta big time.
Our offense did not struggle without Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta is a guy that you can get rid of because he's not. I mean, Hawkinson wasn't that great. I know Sam Laporta was a little bit better. No. You can use tight ends. You can get good tight ends.
Here's the thing: y'all want to get rid of good players. None of y'all give me any fucking names of who you want to replace them with.
Thing is that we're not scouts. I don't.
Well, then don't act like a GM either.
I don't have the scoop on everything in the league. I don't get.
I mean, you're acting like a GM. Saying what we can't do and we can't do.
Right. I'm saying the GM will have to make those decisions. They will have to sit down, like Dan said.
Don't make the assumption of what decisions they're going to make, Nate. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Well, I'm assuming Sam Laporta is going to be at the top of their list.
I'm not assuming shit. I assumed we were going to be in the playoffs this year. What happened?
Oh, God. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm going to tell you something. All this stemmed from last year. What we got was a bad part of what happened last year in the playoffs.
Sure, it's been San Francisco.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that the leadership allowed two coordinators to go talk to people to get hired, and then when they want to come to play in a playoff game, they didn't give a shit because they already got their damn. But
that's the process of the NFL. They didn't make an exception to do that. You can do that in the NFL. I guarantee you, any hot coordinator will be interviewing before their playoff game.
And that's
they
right.
can do
no,
it.
But you as a team.
Are they? I know one person that hasn't been interviewed yet, and he's been linked to the job. You know what his name is? Jesse Minter. Who's been talking to him?
Season's not over, genius.
Well, the same thing happened last season, genius. The fuck are you talking about, Nate?
Because the playoffs haven't even started.
B, hold on, real quick, B. I want to address something really quick. Nate, don't do that. Nate, do not fucking do that at all. I don't do well with comments like that, okay?
Well,
so you're going to keep it respectful. That's what you're going to do, okay?
I didn't say anything.
I hope I make myself clear. Yeah, I hope I make myself clear because that's a clear insult, and you will not fucking do that.
Okay, Jay, calm down.
On this show, we clear on that, right? Because that's not going to happen. First off, B just said they let the coaches interview with other jobs before the playoffs. The playoffs start, in 2 weeks? Yep. Jesse Minter hasn't interviewed yet. Other hot coaching candidates hasn't interviewed yet.
And he probably will interview if they go farther in the playoffs. I'm just saying it's not an exception that the Lions did that out of nowhere.
It's not an NFL rule. However, it is up to the owner and the GM of the team to allow them to do that. And that's where they fucked up. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
You use both your offensive and your defensive coordinators to go look for jobs, and then they get hired. And then when they come to a playoff game, they're half-assed. Come on. And that extrudes onto the team. When you have that
half our defense didn't matter either, right? Ben Johnson was like, man, fuck it. Just go out there and toss the ball around. I don't give a damn. Basically, that's kind of what it was like. What does he have to play for? I mean, what does he have to, do a resume for?
He already got a job somewhere else. What do he need to coach for here?
That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of things that the top brass is starting to do that I'm starting to see that I don't like. And they need to stop that shit. They need to get that right because this is fucking a team up.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's go on to the.
Yeah, we ain't gonna make comments like that though. We're not gonna do that.
Jay, will you stop, dog?
No,
Just stop.
no. I will
Just
not
stop.
because you have went on too long with that disrespectful shit, and I'm not doing that.
I haven't said nothing disrespectful to you in any kind of manner. I'm just talking to you, and you're coming at me. You're the one that's being aggressive.
You made the comment while he was still here, genius. Don't do that shit. Don't do
the
that.
Truth.
He's still here. He's still here. Don't do that shit. We obviously have two different philosophies when it comes to that, and you're going to show me some respect. That's mandatory.
All right. Moving on.
Jeez, you didn't think you were going to be listening to all this, did you, fans?
Yeah, no.
Let's see. We on the Pic'ems now? We doing the Pic'ems?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Liz.
What's up, Liz?
Hey guys, what's up?
What's going on, Liz?
You know what's up. I don't know what's happening.
What you doing?
I have
Anyway.
no comment.
All right.
Glad to see you
Anyway,
here with us
we
today.
are going to do our Pic'ems.
Power rankings.
And first of all, though, I'm gonna do the top 10 there, and you'll be happy again there, El Toro. So here it goes.
All right.
Yes.
What's up, Fire
Yeah.
Kiss?
All right. Let's go into the picks for the week.
All righty. Let's see. All right, Robbie.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Robbie.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, let's see. Okay, so Jay and me both were 9-7 this week.
Really?
Liz, you kind of had a bad week there.
I had a horrible week.
Yeah, you were 7-9.
Come to the
Yeah.
dark side,
Nate,
Liz.
Nate was 8-8, so he gained a game on you. Jay, you're at 154-83. I am at 151-86. Liz, you're at 140-97. And Nate, you got one more week to catch up here. You're 138-99 and 99. So there we go.
Last week.
Let's get it.
All right. Let's get started. Panthers and Bucks. Buccaneers are 2.5-point favorites at home. Me?
Okay. I'm taking the Panthers on that one.
Winner take all, right?
Yep.
Panthers.
Going
All
Bucks.
day, every day.
I'm going Tampa.
Sonya, I see you.
It's at home.
Buccaneers ain't crap though.
I
They can't even
mean,
beat Miami.
All
Quinn
right.
Ewers.
Seattle versus the 49ers. Seattle is 1.5-point favorites on the road.
Liz, you said you got the Bucks, Liz?
yes, I do.
Who you got, Nate? Panthers?
No, I'm taking Bucks.
Are you taking the Bucks? All right. And Jay, you're taking the Panthers.
Pantera. Yes.
Okay. And then what you got next there, Nate? Sorry, man.
Seattle and 49ers. Seattle's 1.5-point favorites on the road.
Ooh, 49ers. I'm going Seahawks.
Give me Winers. Give me the Winers.
49ers.
One.
Yeah, I think I'll take 49ers too.
Ooh.
All right. Bengals and Browns. Bengals are 7.5-point favorites at home. I'll take Bengals.
It's at the Bengal. It's at Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go. Yeah, I'm going to Bengals because Browns already had their Super Bowl.
All right.
I'll go Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincy. All right, Robbie.
So everybody.
Cowboys versus Giants. Cowboys are 3.5-point favorites on the road.
At the Giants. Okay. Giants disappointed me last week. Well, no, they didn't disappoint me last week.
I won.
Actually, I should have picked them. I hate picking Tuesday games because then when I pick them again later on in the week, I'm doing another show. You get your senses together. You know what I'm saying? Because I picked the Giants in my other show on Sunday. So
you don't know the injury report either.
Yeah, it's true, but it doesn't make a difference. I kind of figured that Giants were going to win anyway. I'm going with Cowboys. They still got a really good offense. I don't think they can stop. The Cowboys just got good offense right now, so I'll take
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah, going Cowboys.
All right.
Packers versus Vikings. Vikings are 6.5-point favorites at home.
Vikings. Hey, look, no Jordan Love. They're gonna be resting all their starters, getting ready for the playoffs.
So I'll take the Packers.
I don't want the Vikings to win because if they win, we're definitely in last place. Oh, we're gonna be last place anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
I'm gonna go Green Bay.
Of course you are.
Hey, stop it.
All right. Saints Falcons. Falcons are 3.5-point favorites at home.
Who you going with, Jay?
I got the Vikings.
And you had the Vikings too?
I'm taking the Packers.
Oh, you taking Packers? All right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Saints versus Falcons. Falcons are 3.5-point favorites at home. I'm taking the Falcons.
I'm taking the Saints.
Yeah. House money. They ain't got shit to lose. Give me the Saints.
I'm taking ATL.
All right. Titans versus Jaguars. Jaguars are 12.5-point favorites at home.
Son of a
Taking the Jags.
bitch.
Ooh, we got Liz.
I'll never pick the Jags.
I wanna hear you. I want to hear you speak.
I'm
first.
gonna pick the Titans.
Of course you are. Who you got, Jay?
Don't say
me the Jags.
You got the Jags too, Nate?
Yeah, I'm taking the Jags.
Okay. All right.
All right.
no.
Cardinals versus Rams. Rams are 7.5-point favorites at home.
Rams.
I'm going Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, Rams.
Oh,
Liz, how
I
dare
learned
you?
from them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go Rams.
All right. Chargers and Broncos. Broncos are 12.5-point favorites at home. I'm going Broncos.
Who'd you have, Jay? Rams or the Cardinals?
Rams.
Okay.
Cardinals want
And
that.
you had Rams too, right, Nate?
Yeah, I'm taking Rams. Yeah.
Cardinals want the best pick possible, bro. They tanking.
They are too. Broncos and the Chargers, huh? Well, Chargers fucked themselves by losing to Houston. So, wait a minute. Isn't one of these quarterbacks not playing in this game? Then Herbert.
I don't know.
Just lose to me.
The only one I know is
Broncos
rest of
gotta
starters are the
I'm
Packers.
giving it to Broncos. The Broncos got to keep winning to keep that number 1 spot because they're tied with the.
Oh,
Patriots.
it's not locked in? Oh.
Nope.
Yeah, give me Broncos because Justin Herbert's going to be out.
I'll take Broncos.
I don't know you said Broncos. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Chiefs and Raiders. Chiefs are 5.5-point favorites on the road. I'm taking the Raiders.
Yeah.
Raiders. Sleep.
Got the Raiders.
All right.
Pathetic though. Everybody's got the Raiders except I'm not going Raiders. I'll go Chiefs. I give them benefit of the doubt. Fuck them.
Okay. Commanders versus Eagles. Eagles are 7-point favorites at home.
Eagles.
Damn it. Eagles.
Dolphins versus Patriots. Patriots are 10.5-point favorites at home. Patriots.
Who they playing?
The Dolphins.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Patriots are gonna kick their ass.
All right. Jets versus Bills. Bills are 7-point favorites at home. Bills.
Wait, Bills and who?
Jets.
The Bills. The Bills and the Jets.
Yeah, Bills. Bills easy.
Allen.
Okay. And finally, Ravens versus Steelers. I will take the Steelers.
Robbie, tell me who you got if you still watching.
Yeah, Robbie, who do
I
you
think
got?
you said earlier who he got. Let's see. Eagles, Rams. Sorry, Brett. I'm writing stuff down as I'm going along. So, yeah, Herbert isn't playing. I didn't think he was. I think he had it up here what he was doing.
Tell me who to pick, Robbie.
Steelers lose this week.
That's
what he said.
Is he saying that as in like that's who he's picking, or?
Well, he said he's going to join us on the couch, so that's what I guess that's what he's implying.
I'm gonna go Steelers.
He was disgusted because they lost to the Browns. Anyway, I'm going to Ravens.
Hold on, real quick before I make my pick. Hold on.
They didn't lose to the Browns.
Yeah.
Who is the Steelers?
Yeah.
Oh, they did. That's right. They did.
Oh, dang.
They did last week.
Sorry, Robbie.
Yeah, that's right. They did.
Hey, yeah, give me the Ravens because they are already talking about trading Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson gonna show them like, hey, this is the reason why I'm him. Give me the Ravens.
Liz, you got the Steelers?
It's Aaron.
Huh? What? Huh?
She's not picking.
Yes, I got the Steelers.
Oh.
Nate, you got the Steelers too, Nate?
Yeah, I'm taking Steelers.
Okay.
Damn.
Or Robbie
picking the Rappers.
taking the Steelers.
Okay. I was gonna say, I think he was saying like if the Steelers lose, they'll be joining us on the couch.
Yeah, well.
I think he was saying that rather than picking
Colts versus
I
Texans.
know that, P.O. That's their fault.
Texans are 10.5-point favorites at home. I'm taking the Texans.
Houston.
Shocked. You taking the Texans?
Everybody's taking the Texans, I would say. This is 9 in a row for them right here.
It's a rookie quarterback they're going against.
Well, he's not really. I mean, he's played already, but he.
Yeah.
I almost think that Rivers would be a better choice in this situation, but whatever.
Okay. And then finally, Lions versus Bears. Lions are 3-point underdogs. Bears.
Just 3? Wow.
Yep. I know, right?
Go ahead, be in list. Sorry. I'm looking at something right now.
Me too.
I gotta look on my phone real quick.
Rob, you just got smart off. Damn.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think he was saying that they lose. I think he was saying that like if they lose.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears.
Yeah, give me the Bears.
All right.
What you got, Nate?
Well, I'm taking the Bears.
Okay. Well, that's a clean sweep. Everybody's taking the Bears. That's a damn shame. I almost feel bad. I almost feel embarrassed, to put it that way. That's what I should say.
I feel like I gave him way too much credit. That line is so bad.
Fuck the Bears, man. I don't give a damn. Fuck the Bears anyway, even if I pick them.
First time I pick against them.
Fuck them.
I'll be there.
All right. I'll see you on my segment. Peace, guys.
All right.
See you, Liz. Oh.
All right.
Should be-
Moving on to the Bears and Lions, the last game of the
Speaking of
year.
which- Speaking of which,
I mean,
really don't explain anything. It's so bad.
I mean after the Steelers game, I feel like all the wind was out of their sails. Everything went out the door. They came out and they did stuff that we haven't seen in a long time. You know, back-to-back turnovers. You know, defense played well. Goff was decent, but just could not get it going offensively. And Brian Flores just took away Jahmyr Gibbs like he did the first game. And Dan had no answer. So I expect them to do the same thing against Chicago. And you know that they remember the 52 points we put up on their asses on week 2.
Yeah, we sure the hell do.
So,
That wasn't done by Dan, though.
no,
That
it
was done
wasn't,
by Morton.
But yeah, it was talked about a lot amongst the airwaves. So they put that stuff on the board.
I mean, you got to put
Ben,
bulletin
and
board
Ben's
material
petty.
up there.
Ben's petty. Like he'll take that stuff and he'll run with it. So yeah, I expect an ass.
I mean, I feel he's just as petty as Dan is, though. I think that's the reason, part of the reason why Dan took over the play calling duties. I just he's just as petty. I can see where that comes from. But anyway,
yeah.
I mean, I expect the Lions. I think the Lions are going to go out there and be professionals. I do think this is going to be a close game because I don't think the Lions are going to quit on their team. I think they're pretty pissed off they didn't make the playoffs. I think they're pissed off because people are talking cash money shit about them, and they don't like that. And this is a division foe in Chicago, and it's Ben Johnson. You don't think there's a amount of pettiness going on by them too?
Absolutely.
I'm sure I remember the first time they met. Amon St. Brown practically said, "Fuck Ben Johnson." That's what he basically said.
Yeah.
We can do this on our own.
There's a lot of reason for the Bears to come out and beat the shit out of us because, you know, I do hope it's competitive, but when you watch that Bears offense against that Niners Robert Saleh defense, they shredded the shit out of that defense. I mean, and offensively, we're going to turn the ball over. And it's going to cost us. We did it against Minnesota. The Bears live off turnovers. That's the only way their defense looks half decent is because they turnovers.
Well, I think the thing that's different. This game will be a little bit different. It's just pasta.
Don't you ever disrespect Detroit pizza like that, bro?
No, he said deep dish pizza. That's Chicago pizza. He means Chicago.
Oh, okay. All right. My bad. Sorry, Robbie.
No, I just think that the Flores defense is different than what Chicago's guys' defense. Yes, they're a team that does a lot with the turnovers, and I think that's what happens. What you have to do when you're not that great of a defense, you have to find other ways to get the ball, because at the same time, San Francisco was running up and down the field in their defense too. Let's not get it twisted. And they're not even as good as an offense.
But I don't care about the offensive side. I'm talking about on the defensive side. We're gonna have to stop that offense of the Chicago Bears, one of the top rushing off attacks in the NFL. Caleb Williams, you can't sack the guy. We don't have a secondary. I mean, I don't know who's going to be playing for receiver. I mean, I know Burden he got hurt at the end. But Ja'Day Walker can play. Moore's going to be out there. They're probably going to get Roma Dunze back for this game. I just don't think we're going to have the bodies on defense to stop anything that the Bears do. That's just my opinion. said.
And
I mean, it's
let's
not.
be honest. Let's be
not
honest.
doom and gloom.
Playing out in Chicago has always been one of Detroit's kryptonites. And, it's going to be cold. Obviously, Windy City is going to be really cold. There's going to be a lot of the weather elements that'll kind of affect the game. I mean, I think the Lions are going to have to run the ball. And if they don't run the ball effectively, that's going to be their whole offense right there.
And that's the problem is we haven't
that'll
run the
be the
ball
key.
effectively.
I think,
and you can run the ball. You can run a ball effectively against Chicago.
Yeah, McCaffrey had a great game against them.
They're not a very good defense. What they make up in defense is the turnover aspect, because the defensive coordinators got them going for the turnovers. That he's got them focused on turnover, because he knows that defense is not that great. Kind of the same way, like last year with the Lions. Remember, our defense wasn't that great, but we got a lot of turnovers. We were very optimistic. And that's the same thing Chicago's doing. It's the same blueprint that the Lions are using. So, I mean, just hold on to the ball. Keep it like you're supposed to. Jameer's probably going to have a pretty good game in this one. I would use Monty a whole lot more, bulldoze, and this be a good game. Monty needs to go against his old team, and just take it to him like he's been doing it. And get more involved with the running backs. Make the job a little bit easier for Goff, so he's not looking at like 20 players coming at him at one time. Run the damn ball. If they can do that, they can win. They can win the game. But on the consideration of the whole thing going on with Chicago, I think they're a better team than we saw them when we beat them 52-28.
Well,
so
sure, offensively, Caleb's a lot more confident.
Yeah. So I mean, what you got to do? I would like to see them run that defense they did against Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. That's what I want to see. They sacked him 8 times. He's a running quarterback. He's a way hell of a lot better quarterback than Caleb is.
Yeah, so I agree. I would definitely want to see a defensive game from the Lions to see how well their defense do. Yeah. But something, B, you said something very, very important. You were saying that they cause a lot of turnovers. So I kind of look at Jacksonville and I look at Chicago kind of the same, similar. They live off of creating turnovers. Limit the turnovers. If they can really just run the ball, get first downs, move the chains, I think they got a good chance of winning. But how well do our defense stand against their offense? Knowing how banged up they are, knowing that, like Nate just said, that Odunze probably comes back. That can never say his name right. What's their running back name?
Manungai.
Yeah, Manungai.
Never say it, but I don't want to butcher his name. But him, Swift, I think they're going to be very important as well in this game.
Not to mention, Loveland has really come out himself and really looked like a decent tight end. So,
and with that offense, and I can see if this game didn't mean anything to Chicago, then I'd say, hey, maybe they could get away with missing a couple of players, but they're still looking at Seton, and this is going to be really important. So, this is a nightmare matchup. I'm just going to be honest.
The way I look at it is there's 2 things the Lions defense has done better lately is take the ball away and sacks. They got 2 guys over 10 sacks for the season. The problem is that Caleb does not get sacked and he doesn't throw picks. So you're basically going to have to stop him by just playing a better game. They can possibly do that. But again, the secondary is going to be the question. Can the secondary hold up? They did a pretty good job against Minnesota. I mean, Jefferson, maybe had 30 yards or something like that? He didn't do that well at all. Their biggest play was Addison's end around.
I think what Shep's going to have to do, he's going to have to go into veteran mode. In other words, he can't rely on his rookie ability to he's got to confuse Caleb. He's got to confuse Caleb a lot. And Caleb's still young. So you can confuse him in different defenses. So he's got to learn how to kind of switch it up out there on the defense where Caleb is not. He thinks he sees something and then you pull out into something else and he gets confused. It's the only way we're going to be able to stop him or slow him down.
I think we have to rush to contain. We can't rush to rush. We have to rush to contain because you've got to keep him in the pocket. I mean, I really wish Drew would have came on the show because I want to talk to him about Caleb. I think Caleb has improved a lot this season, but the reality is that he still is bad in the intermediate throws. He still misses layup throws. Like he can dart it down the field 60, 70 yards, but he can't make an easy 5-yard hitch or a 10-yard out. Like he missed that pass against the Niners where it would have got Duvernay in the end zone. Literally, Duvernay could have walked in. Missed that. He missed Ja'Day Walker wide open on the other side. So
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But
They
it's going to be a
confuse him a
tough
little
task. Salah's a damn good defensive coordinator. I
Yes,
don't care
he
who
is.
he has on defense, and he got shredded. He got his lunch handed to him in that game.
You know, it's pretty funny too because the defensive coordinator that we're facing, well, actually,
Dennis Allen
is when, Dennis Allen.
Yeah, he was with Dan in New Orleans. Yeah.
But I'm talking about the defensive coordinator they had before Salah came back, the one that AG just let go, and we shredded that. We shredded San Francisco
Wilkes.
when we were in San Francisco. Yeah. Wilkes.
Okay.
And I mean, it was basically the offense that messed up in the second half, but they had no answer for that offense. And if that offense can be like that against them, you know, I'm Derek. Allen is okay. Dennis Allen's okay. I wouldn't consider him he's better than what we got right now, considering the level of.
He's a veteran. He's a veteran defensive coordinator.
He's a veteran guy.
We
got a rookie, but other than that, I don't know, man. You can still run on them pretty effectively.
I think it's going to come down to if we can protect Goff. That's what it comes down to every game. Can we protect Goff? If we can protect Goff, he can make the intermediate throws. He can make the downfield throws. I mean, Brock Purdy was like balling out that game. He was diving.
After that interception, that pick six for a touchdown, he settled the hell down. Was throwing dimes out there.
Yeah. So Goff can throw on him. The problem is, can we give him enough time and can we run the freaking football? That's the big question.
Running the football is going to be important in this game. I believe that's Jay. I think you're right about that right there. They got to run the football better.
Got to run it. It's very important. That's
what our offense does. We need to have that in our offense. You can't. That's a lot. It's based on running the football.
If they can do that, I'm gonna regret my pick because if that offense starts firing. That offense starts firing like that. They can run the ball.
After the Vikings game, I pretty much gave up on any hope of the Lions. Like that game was terrible. Like your defense allows 3 yards all game, and you still fucking lose by 13 points.
Look, and you know what's funny about that? It's called everything comes back to where it's at again, the circle of life. So it was after the first Minnesota game that Morton got fired. And that was because nobody came to play. That game, you can tell. No levels came to play in that game.
I'm telling you, the wind got sucked out after the Pittsburgh game, man. They really
and so he took over the play calling duty. So what did he do? You go into Minnesota and you really sucked. You played worse than you did.
He should have waited. He should have waited until after the Minnesota game. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I just think that's a big part of what happened to the Lions, man. Dan Campbell just did some obnoxious shit and didn't wait, wasn't patient, which you got to do with your offensive coordinator. And because what this reminds me of? Tomlin and Haley. Haley was telling him, look, I'm running the offense my fucking way, and I'm going to do it my fucking way. And if you don't like it, kiss my ass. And Tomlin said, okay, well, I'll fire you then. How about that? But guess what Haley was doing, though, with that offense? Up and down the field.
They won a Super Bowl with that offense.
Yes.
Remember?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's called pride and egotism there. That's all that is. Stop doing that. I hate that. Dan's got to stop doing that kind of stuff. Like going from five fucking fourth downs against the Eagles. We could have won that game.
Arrogance, the ego, like that has to stop. It has to stop. Get out of your own way.
I mean, you want to keep throwing the Eagles game, and that's fine. We can nitpick that game. The reality is the Lions were terrible in the division. That it starts right there. You get swept by the Vikings, which is inexcusable. You get swept by the Packers. You should have split one, and we're going to split with the Bears, or maybe lose, or you know. So I mean, but we were terrible in the division this year. Like really bad. Like outside of the games that we lost, we gotta do better than what 1 in 5 in the division.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is this remind me of the Packers from last year.
Yeah, that's where it starts right there. Like you can't get swept by the fucking Vikings.
Even if they beat Chicago last game and end up 9-8, this 9-8 team was nowhere where the 9-8 team was 3 years ago.
No, Jay said it right. This is a failure season, and I think every Lions, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell will all say the same thing. This was a failed season. There's no doubt about that. Super Bowl was the goal, and it did not happen.
Please, brother, please.
But let's. This is where I wanna say this. Like the world's not falling. Okay. Mm-hmm. The Lions players that we have on this roster are all in their prime or entering their prime. Mm-hmm. Like you have really good players. All you have to do is go in and look at the lines on both sides and maybe add some depth or maybe a starter. I don't know. I mean, I think they like the guys they have, but a lot of it's going to be maturity. Tate's going to have another year that's going to be better. Tyleek is probably going to be a starter next year. You know, like you have some of the pieces already. Like that's why I'm not saying
it's complicated. It's a lot. It's complicated, and I think unfortunately, it might even be a little bit more complicated than that because while I think that some of the guys you named off are well and great players, you got to also look at the other hand as well. One, they're losing a lot of people right now to free agency, including Anzalone. Including a couple people. But like, what do you do with players? Like, I got two names for you. What do you do with Montgomery, and then what do you do with Aleem McNeil?
Montgomery's under contract. He's there.
He's under contract, but they didn't even use him this season. I don't see how they would schematically just up his game time next year and everything. He's already hinted at possibly requesting a trade. And then Aleem McNeil. This is his second injury that he had, a lower body injury in his career that kind of like messed him up. I'm not sure how that's going to impact in the future.
Yeah. I think when Shep said this about Aleem McNeil, like he's there, but his mind's not there. He said something about him, like he was struggling, just kind of getting back to his old play. I think ACLs are not all the same. People don't always come back for ACLs and are just balling out. I think it takes sometimes a year or two to kind of get your feel back.
That's a big boy. That's not a running back or
right.
Tight,
if
receiver.
If Aleem comes out next year and struggles, then we can have that conversation. But I'm going to give him a pass because he came back later in the season, and I just think that his mind's not all there. Maybe he's worried about his leg. I don't know, but I think he'll take this into the offseason. And I think that they're going to move off of Reader. I think Reader is pretty much probably done. He's a casualty. Mm-hmm. And I think that Tyleek and Aleem will be the anchors inside unless they bring in somebody else. They'll re-sign Roy Lopez for a cheap deal. They should re-sign Roy Lopez. He was one of the best defensive tackles that we had on the team. They're going to re-sign Muhammad, which they should too. He had 11 sacks this year. You don't let somebody go out the door when he had 11 sacks. They're going to have Hassasin. They'll probably draft another end. You'll have Aiden. Like, that's what I'm saying is a lot of the pieces are already here. Like, and on the O-line, I think of a lot of it's maturity. You're going to probably draft a tackle because I think Decker's done. I think Decker's going to retire in this offseason.
They have to get a center too. They have to get a center.
They'll probably get a center. They have Tate, who's going to be there. Sewell will probably go to left tackle. So you'll probably whoever drafts is going to be a right tackle, or they get somebody else. Maybe it's Manu, maybe it's Skipper. I don't know. I'm just throwing some names out there. I think Frazier is going to – I agree with you, B. I think Frazier will take that other left guard spot. And then you got Tate at the other guard spot. So all you got to do is just find a center. And who knows? Maybe Frank comes back. We don't know. We just don't know. You know, like he tried to come back this year. Maybe he comes back again. He's only 29. So I mean, there's options there. The thing is what I want to tell Lions fans is that you can't just fruit basket the whole fucking team. Because if you fruit basket the whole team, then you're going to lose more games next year. Because a lot of the games that we won were because of the guys we have. Jack Campbell's going to be an all-pro. Laporta was playing well and getting better until he got fucking hurt. Brian Branch, if he just keeps his head on straight, is one of the best Swiss Army knives you have on defense. Kirby Joseph is the quarterback of your defense.
And while that, I think that looks well, there are questions that we have to ask about those players as well. Like Sam Laporta just went through back surgery. Back surgery is one of the hardest surgeries to come off of, especially outside of an Achilles.
But he's also young.
That is going to be something that you have to ask. Like, will Sam Laporta come back as that person we need him to be? Not the person that we want him to be, but the person he needs to be. Is he still going to be the best third down target? Is he going to be?
I think B said it right. They'll wait and see.
Is he going to be as good as he was blocking? You know, that lumbar area, depending on where you're getting surgery, bro. Like if you can't hold up, bro, your whole body is done. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Your back is the base. That's everything right there.
And they can walk away from his contract if they don't want to pay him. That's not a big problem.
Brian Branch having that Achilles tear, that is very big as well. You know, I can't name injury. Yeah. I can't name any player that has had an Achilles tear and came back the same player. You know, they may have played and still be good, but if they have been elite, that's a different story. You know, one being Tracy Walker. Remember, Tracy Walker was good. He had a promising career until he ruptured his Achilles, and then after that, he just kind of faded away. Now, obviously, Brian Branch is better, but that's just the significance of that type of injury.
All injuries are different. It just depends on the body. It depends on the age.
Kirby Joseph. I mean, Kirby Joseph, everybody was like, hey, you know, he's going to be back. He's going to participate. Then you see him with a knee brace on, you know, a couple weeks after he gets his injury. And then they're like, oh, you know what? We have to put him on IR. It sounds like that guy may not even play again. Not saying he won't, but that's just kind of how they're putting it out there. You know,
I'm not worried about Kirby. I think Kirby will be fine.
That needs to be answered about that team, especially the defense.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean Kirby's going to be. You know, I like Brian Branch, but I think Kirby is the heart and soul of that secondary.
Sure,
that's what it doesn't make a difference who you got as the corners half the damn time. And Joe Schmo, Bob the Builder, whoever you got behind those, if he's back there,
he covers for the
he's directed.
Yeah,
he directs traffic really well. He's a very good safety in doing that. I do hope that DJ Reed gets his head out of his ass and starts playing like he was playing with the Jets. Now, if he can't do that, man, that was just a waste of free agent. He was a very big disappointment for me this year. He came out the blocks good, and then he just fell.
I think that's another guy. Another guy that recovered after the injury and just hasn't been the same.
And Arnold needs to get his shit together. You know, Amik played okay. He didn't play great like he did last year, but he played okay. He held his own. Maddox is another guy that's, you know, I don't know if we can we keep him or not. He played okay too in spots. Whiteside, I don't give a damn when nobody says you can keep his ass. Need to keep him. He is a good corner that's not getting the playing time. He is a very good corner.
He's probably going to play the UFL again.
I've actually saw. You know, we do the all 22 on the NFL thing, and I watched him when he's in there. Dude has great instincts, really good instincts, and that's hard, you know, for a cornerback, a good cornerback to have. You have good instincts, man. You can't replace that. He needs to stay. But there's so many questions and answers that they don't have going into the season. I think though the main thing is Dan needs to look in the mirror and say, hey, what did I fuck up? this year. And if Brad don't get in his ass about it, then that's going to be a problem too. Because Brad, hey, I know you guys are cool, but this is professional. You got to take this shit too. And Brad is another guy. He needs to start learning. Hey, look at Philadelphia. You know, we hate talking about Philadelphia. We hate Philadelphia, but they win, and they bring in people when they need to bring in.
It's a certain,
you know what I'm saying? And they draft well.
It's a certain group of teams that win. They do whatever is necessary to win. They don't complain about money for next year or you know, whatever. And one being Philadelphia. As much as I hate that team, I hate that city. They do whatever they can to win. Rams are another one. As much as I hate the Rams, I want everything bad to happen to the Rams. I mean, they have won a Super Bowl, rebuilt their team,
and are about to try to win another one.
Going to go back, you know, and they gave up multiple first-round picks for.
Well, they hit on a lot of draft picks. That's the key for the Rams.
Lions did too. And I think the Lions hit on more draft picks than the Rams. I definitely.
But the difference is the Rams teams. You got to know how to draft, yes, but you also got to know how to get free agents. And I think that is the only thing about Brad Holmes that's not really good at this point. His free agent stuff is could be a little more.
But okay,
you know.
But let me ask you this question: when you have really good players at the top, which the Lions do, they're very top heavy. Their best players are the top players. When you talk about bringing free agents in, like, are you bringing a free agent in to go behind that top player, or are you trying to take him to out succeed the top player? You know, because Brad did that. He brought in players to create depth. It's not his fault that people get hurt.
It depends on who.
I'm not talking about that. I am talking about stuff that they need. If they out there, they need an edge rusher. I'm sorry. Muhammad's okay, but he shows up every 4 or 5 games.
So you don't want to re-sign Muhammad?
I didn't say you're going to not re-sign him. That's what they're going to do anyway, because that's what the Lions do. But they should either they should get an edge rusher. They should get an edge rusher.
I mean, they can get.
They need to go out. You know what? This is their 6th year with this regime. What they need to do is go out there. Let's see if we can get Max Crosby. You might not like it, but let's go get Max Crosby.
I mean, I'm all for it. It just depends on if it can make it happen.
I was cool with that, but I mean, right now I'm really I would like the idea, but I want to know if you can build that offensive line back to where it needs to be.
That's another important part too.
Yeah. You know, like
I said, both trenches have to be addressed in the offseason.
Yeah, but I mean, fucking that offensive line was horrid this year, man. It really was. And while we have a lot of youth, I mean, there are 2 players they're going to more than likely have to replace. One being Taylor Decker, and then I know Glasgow, we got Ratledge, but you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff shaking up on that offensive line. It's going to take multiple years to fix the team to get them back to where they are. Like I said, I don't think
we can't get Frank to come out of retirement, because really, if you look at it, Frank is the ultimate communicator on that line. You know, when you have the interior line being bad, it affects Penei Sewell and it affects Decker. Now, Decker's not anywhere near the level that Sewell is, but he's good enough. But then when that interior line folds up, they both look like shit. Right. So it's you got to have
they're overcompensating for both sides of the football. That's
exactly. So what you do is if we can get Frank Ragnow back and let him play for a couple more years, like, dude, whatever you got to do to get yourself together, get together.
I think it's very possible.
You can put Frazier
back already.
Frazier on one side and put Ratledge on the other side. You got rookies. Well, they won't be rookies then. They're going to be sophomores at that point. But Ragnow can just talk to either one of them and say, hey, this is what you do. This is what you. I'm going to tell you what, that offensive line will improve 110% if they get a experienced center to be in there. I'm not even talking about if Ragnow doesn't come back, find an experienced center. We need an experienced fucking.
Well, I don't even know who's available for.
Did you see what Goff said? Goff said he doesn't see Frank Ragnow coming back. He hadn't talked to him about it or whatever, but he'll see. That's paraphrasing. I'm not quoting him, but that's paraphrasing. And it don't sound like he coming back. Coincidentally, do you think that it was a coincidence that Frank Ragnow has been training and everything, and as soon as the Lions lose to the Packers on Thanksgiving, it's up grade 3 hamstring tear. I can't play anymore.
No,
Yeah,
I think
it kind of was like a coincidence because you have some kind of hamstring issue if it's a grade 3. I'm not buying that whole situation either, but I think that if anybody knows him, it would be Jared Goff because they always have these videos of them going fishing together.
They have great communication with each other. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I mean, if he says he doesn't feel like he's going to come back, he probably won't come back. But in saying that, I know the Lions need to draft an offensive lineman, whether it's the tackle, whether it's a guard, whether it's a center. If they draft a center,
I agree.
If they draft a center, I still want them. See, this is what I'm talking about. You want somebody in that center position that has experience. I'm not putting a rookie center in there right now. Sorry, not doing it. I can draft one, but you're going to be sitting behind. I'll go out in free agency and find me a center that's got some veteran presence and won a couple Pro Bowls or whatever the case, or a couple of All Pros or whatever the case you want to be, and put him in the middle and get the communication right on that line. So Sewell and Decker or whoever we draft in his place understands the communication on that line. They can play as one. That's the problem the Lions are having right now with the line.
And see the mistake, and one of the mistakes I think that they made is when Graham started really struggling and they wanted to move Kingsley into the starting lineup. I think they should have just seen what Tate had, because at this point the season's lost. So you want to give live reps and you want to see how the guys fare against competition. And I think they missed out on opportunities of really seeing what he would do in live reps. Now you have to assume, is he going to play center or is he going to play guard? Because like I told B earlier, he's a damn good guard. He's probably one of the better players we have on the roster, which Brad Holmes hit on, and so now you got to keep him at guard. So yeah, we got to go find a center, but I was just looking at the free agents for centers. They ain't shit out there. So unless you're going to try to trade for somebody else's starting center,
is that free agents for now or free agents for 2026?
26. Yeah, some of these guys, I mean, I've heard of them, but I mean, it's no one that blows your mind. Like they seem like they're backups. I mean, well, the reality.
The focus here is not to. You're not going to get another Ragnow. That's apparent. No, you don't want to trade for a center. Years. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Is trading for a center. I trading for offensive linemen.
Who's going to trade their center if they're that damn good? I mean, they need
right, center, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Nobody's going to do it in the first fucking place, and then nobody does that anyway. It's dumb. It's irrelevant. But what they need to do is, even if it's a guy on there that's got some experience that won't cost you any games or anything like that by fucking up in the center position and can communicate to the rest of the line. That's what what the center is about. He needs to have communication and some solid. I don't care. He ain't gonna be Frank Ragnow, but if he can lead his veteran presence there to get that line straightened out, then that's all you need. And then Goff will automatically, be one-on-one with him because that's the guy that's snapping me the ball. So I got to be on that same level with him. So that way you know what's going on.
The good news is that you can find a center later in the draft. You don't have to take him in the first round.
Yeah.
You can take him, you either find the second or third.
Oh, my start. Unless he's all pro center.
Well, yeah. Ragnow was drafted later in the first round. That's what I'm saying. They'll either be the later first round or second round. So that I think we can find a guy like that. Yeah. Decker is the bigger one because this is a very good tackle draft, and a lot of people have had Proctor from Alabama being tagged for the Lions. Proctor's a fucking stud. He is athletic as hell. He's a big man. Like, you imagine putting him with Penei Sewell next to each other? Holy hell. Like, Goff would be touched if we could just get the interior fixed out. So it's going to have to be to the draft. And that is Brad's calling card. That's what he does. He finds gems in the draft.
No,
You know,
I got a question for you, B, because I heard you say you wouldn't mind if the Lions went out there and tried to get Max Crosby. Now, if the Raiders came knocking on your door saying, "Hey, give me 2 first rounds for Max Crosby, and you can have him," do you take that?
future
Knowing
first rounds.
possibility, we will not get that guy Proctor, and I like that idea because Proctor is actually really good.
Yeah, he is.
Games,
You might have to trade up to get Proctor. That's why I'm saying it's a possibility. We might have to trade up to get him.
What would you do?
Well, trying to get Max Crosby for 2 first rounders.
Yeah,
I mean, let me tell you something like this. If you can find Amon St. Brown, what was he? He was a 4th rounder, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes.
Most of the players on this team aren't first round picks.
That's true.
Okay, and that are good.
Your core players. Yeah.
I mean, if Brad Holmes is the genius that he is as a scout talent, as somebody that can draft, I don't mind him taking the first round picks and giving them to them so we can get Max Crosby. Because if you can make any draft picks work, dude, you were the guy.
Well, you're going to have to. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, it's fine. First round picks don't always pan out either.
True.
But, we're finding that out with Arnold a little bit. And Enos was a second. Enos was a 2nd round pick. He's practically done. I mean, those, and that was in one draft class. Yeah. So I mean, you get lucky sometimes, and sometimes you just don't. So I draft picks are overrated to me anyway because you can get anybody in the 4th or 5th round.
For the right player,
round,
yes,
be awesome.
I agree. Yeah, for the right player, you can go out and get a guy like that.
I mean, we always spend time thinking about, Tom Brady because he was a 6th round pick. I know everybody likes to go to that, but there's other players that were drafted in later rounds and were fantastic Hall of Famers. So I'm not buying any of that first round draft pick is automatically going to get you a good player. No. So
plus Tom Brady.
On that note, I would say, Matt, go for it. Get Max Crosby. The only thing that I'd have to worry about, of course, is we have to pay because he just got paid, as a matter of fact. So we'd have to tell, well, if we give you 2 first round picks, you're paying some of his salary because I ain't paying all his salary.
Yeah. But here's the thing: if you go that route, which I'm all for getting Max Crosby, having Max Crosby and Nate Hudson on both opposite sides is hell to think about for quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you go that route, you have to hit on your draft picks. Because now you're going to be losing some top tier players because you can't afford all these players. So
hit on every draft pick that you have. I mean, that goes without saying. It doesn't make a difference.
Well, you just said right now it's a crapshoot. Most people hit on 50% of their drafts.
Yeah, But Brad Holmes is a guy that hits on most of his draft picks.
I agree.
More than most.
I agree.
Most of the general managers in the league.
But the point I'm trying to say is that if you go for a Max Crosby guy, you're going to have to hit on these picks early because they have to contribute in a starting role possibly because you're not going to be able to keep all these players on your roster. You're going to have to cut some fats, which I do think this offseason.
That's what the man gets paid for. This is what I'm talking about. Fine. He gets paid for that, and he's known to be a good draft person. So I go for it. Get yourself and go out there and get yourself a veteran center. If you can't get Ragnow in there, solidify that area.
I think the center is going to be harder.
You can draft a center, and you can draft a left tackle or right tackle or whatever you need. I'm not even drafting any guards because I'll just leave Semo up in here.
And you got Frazier, and you got
Frazier's going to be a starter. If they don't start Frazier over Semo. Fuck that shit.
And I want to take a good look at Frazier. Is he going to start this week?
I think so.
I want to take a really good look at him because if he can pan out, that probably be somebody that the Lions don't have to worry about, or a position, I should say, the Lions don't have to worry about addressing in the offseason. So I'm going to keep a really close eye out for him.
Honestly, if you get your secondary back and you get your lines figured out on both sides, add some more depth or draft some depth, they should be fine. I mean, they have good players on both sides. It's just a matter of filling some holes, and then, of course, finding an offensive coordinator.
Yeah. That's basically what they got to do. Dan has got to go back to his head coaching duties. They got to get a play call, and he's got to be solid with it and allow that offensive coordinator to do it, because everybody is not Ben Johnson. Everybody ain't going to do what you want them to do, Dan. You got to let them run that offense. They know if they find what's right for that offense, let them go with it. If they fall on their face, then you can do that. But Morton was nowhere near falling on his face. Like I said, they won 4 games in a row with Morton. Okay. Yeah. And they lost a game in between there. And the Minnesota game did not look good because I don't think any of the players were on that page. They came off the bye week. They all came off a damn hangover night that night. You know what I'm saying?
I have a question. Serious question. How much do you think contributed to the Lions playing bad teams with Morton was like still kind of the play caller?
Well, I didn't really play any.
Yeah, early on he played.
Green Bay was probably the best team they played. The Ravens were okay, but you saw what happened to them. They were on the verge of self-destruction anyway.
But their defense was still pretty intact when we played them.
And they did a very good job. I think that game was all about the defense. I don't think it was about the offense because Detroit was putting up points anyway. The defense came to play that game. When they played, who else they played? They played Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay didn't have no backside defense, and they still played a hell of a game.
That was our best win of the year.
And their offense wasn't that good in that game either. If you think about it, their running game wasn't great. I mean, Goff kept them in the game basically.
It was something. Now, while I'm going to agree with what you're going to respond with because I think I know what you're going to say, but it was something Dan Campbell seen that he did not like. He genuinely just did not like for him to take over the play calling the way he did. And I think that I was going to say, I feel like Dan Campbell gives his coordinators like full autonomy to do whatever they want to do. But it was something there that Dan Campbell was like, you know what? I can't have this on the team. I need to take over.
There was a disconnect.
It had to be something because, like Johnny Morton, while we seen him do some good things, it was a consistency issue. I really consistency issue. Oh, my computer's about to die.
I think we'll know more once the season's over how quick Johnny Morton leaves. If Johnny Morton leaves, like literally after the season, right after the game's over, then you know that it was something personal, and he probably didn't want it. He just stayed on just for good fellowship or good.
I'm sure it was something personal, and this is what I'm talking about. Regardless if it's this is a business, okay. You got to take the emotions out of some of this stuff. You got to say the emotions got to be left with the players. The coaches have to figure this shit out. And and I don't think there was an inconsistency with Moore. Like I said, he won 4 games in a row. How many did hit?
No, this was more. This was more of a personal thing, and I think it was his attitude.
Well, that's what he's got to stop.
Yeah,
he's got to stop the personal shit. This is a business. I don't care. We don't. We all find people. We all find people that we don't like at our workplace, but we have to get along with them to work, right?
But there's one thing.
Except for you, Nate, because you don't care. You're on your own,
right?
Me and Jake.
I don't. That's one reason why I don't work with people. But there's one thing that did irk me a lot about Morton, and it always was more and more consistent. Whenever he would do his pressers, he would never blame the scheme. He'd always blame the players' execution. And I get it. Players play, coaches coach. However, every coach has admitted that sometimes it's the scheme's problem. Even Shep has said that himself. And when a coach goes up there in front of the public and says, oh, it's not a scheme issue, it's the players, that's a problem. Because you're quietly throwing those players under the bus. And I guarantee you, Dan says, you got to stop with that shit. And he kept doing it. And I think Johnny just he's just going to go his own way. It was a bad relationship from the beginning. Let's just put it that way. Whatever it was, it did not work. Dan missed on the candidate again. Like he missed on Lynn. Like he's got to find the right guy.
Well, I don't want him to find. I think, again, this is a Tomlin thing too. I think, Robbie will back me up on this. Tomlin likes people that kiss his ass, and that's not how you win games. Okay, because you get a cut. All these coordinators that he's gotten, these offensive coordinators he's gotten lately, have done nothing for the Steelers. Yes, they have winning seasons, but damn, defense has won half of those games, most of those games, and not having DK Metcalf because he's an idiot in the last 2 games is showing up for Pittsburgh right now. So I mean, you got to have it. You can't. This is what I'm talking about. The ego with Dan Campbell. Got to let some shit go. And it just because he gets up to
they
the
all
point
need to
and
swallow
says one
some
thing.
pride.
Dan says the same stuff, but
Yeah.
Dan says the same stuff. He just says it different. He throws players in the book. Oh, we have to execute.
Got to play.
That's
better.
just like saying they ain't doing what they're doing.
That's all me.
But I expect that. But I expect that more
way.
from a head coach B than an offensive coordinator. That's my only argument. Because as the head coach, you hear that all the time. You gotta
Really?
execute. You gotta
Wow.
run the plays better.
Something. I never took Mike Tomlin for that type of a guy, though. The ass kissers.
Yeah.
No, Tomlin's like he doesn't think of shit.
Robbie can't. I remember when Robbie was on when we were on the show with him. He went. He went game style on Tomlin. He was on, he just like people to kiss his ass. And you're a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, you should know. So
let me ask you all this question.
He is a good career. Yeah,
Are
has
you
no coaching
possibly-
tree. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Are you okay with him possibly them going to college and maybe getting an offensive coordinator? Because I mean, both games are very similar.
Who
Not
would you
with-
get?
not-
Depends. Who would you get though?
I don't know.
Yeah, head coach.
I'm just saying because the thing is, any hot offensive coordinators in the NFL are going to be head coaches, or they're going to stay with their respective teams.
I agree.
You're seeing that more and more in the NFL. A lot. They're doing the Ben Johnson thing. Oh, I don't want that team. That team's shit. I'm going to stay with this team I have. And they're really going to stay with a team with a quarterback. See, AG fucked up. AG went to a team with no quarterback. Ben Johnson went with Caleb. Look who's doing better and who's doing worse.
Well, offensive minded versus defensive minded.
Well, that
The Jets
too, but
did
you
have a
also
defense.
you got to hit on a fucking quarterback. You can't win without a quarterback in the NFL.
Again, I refer this back to Tomlin. Tomlin can't pick a quarterback to save his own damn life. He got lucky because he had Ben Roethlisberger when he was hired as coach.
That's true, right? And
After that, though,
coordinators and Ben
all the quarterbacks he's had, and then he gets Aaron Rodgers. You know why he got Aaron Rodgers? Because he knows how to run the offense, and he ain't got to say shit to him.
Exactly. Yeah, Aaron's a vet. Exactly. You just let Aaron do his
Right.
thing.
You let them do his
absolutely.
thing.
For sure.
And Arthur, whatever the fuck his name is, Fat Boy,
Smith.
he's going to be out there, talking to Aaron, and I bet you Aaron's going to be the one talking to him mostly, though. So that's the whole thing.
I just want the Lions to do a good search outside of the organization. I don't want to bring anybody inside the organization. I love Scotty Montgomery because I think that he would probably be the first answer. But we need to go outside. We need to go outside the organization. We need to cast a search like you're doing head coach and go find somebody, maybe a quarterback's coach that wants to be an OC, and you can get him to make the move. Because no OC is going to make a lateral move. You got to give a promotion. So you're probably going for a quarterback's coach, an assistant coach. They even threw out, I don't know what NFL, Lions page it was, but they were saying about maybe going to the Bears, looking at looking at Bieniemy.
Somebody I like that guy, the running backs coach for the Rams.
Oh, that is.
Really scheme up some really good plays for Blake Corum and Kyron Williams.
Hey, if he comes to Sean McVay, I'm all for it because Sean McVay is a genius when it comes to offense.
Yeah.
So you would definitely want to pluck off that roster.
Yes.
Or
I mean,
Kyle Shanahan.
I think to tell you the truth, in the offseason, when the Lions lost Ben Johnson and AG, it wasn't those two offensive coordinators that really cost us, or really were the impact. To tell you the truth, it was the players, it was the coaches behind them that they
he lost like 10 offensive staff.
AG took our passing coordinator with him to make him an offensive coordinator. All you got to do is you could have kept him. You could have kept what's his face? The assistant coach. With you just mentioned him.
Not
L. No, the dude on our team. He was a running backs coach last year.
Scotty
Montgomery could have left him at running backs coach
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's a lot of shifting going on,
Mhm.
you know,
Yep.
and and forget about. We did a lot better as a defensive line, but did we really do a good job as defensive line? I mean, we got the best defensive line coach in the league, and we still really couldn't do a lot of things that we needed to
And
do.
he left too because he went to the Patriots, so we had to get Rodgers.
No, I'm talking about the one we got from Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Rodgers.
He was supposed to be the best one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of shifting going on that I think that cost the Lions in certain areas too.
I think there's a silver lining to all of this is that, you know, you guys want to mention the 49ers about how their success, you know, they were ass last year and now they're one of the top teams. Well, it can change after a season. They showed it. The thing is that the 49ers have a really good staff. Shanahan's one of the best play callers out there that doesn't get a lot of credit. And Robert Saleh is one of the best defensive coordinators out there that, you know, probably will stay with that team because he doesn't want to go to head coaching job because he doesn't want to get canned again. So I think he'll probably stay with them. So, I mean, when it comes to the Lions, we have a lot of newbies, you know, a lot of new faces. Like B said, we lost 10 staff members to both coordinators. Like, maybe this is just a transition year, you know, like the team is still good. Like, hell, we're right there in the thick of things. We're probably going to have 8 or 9 losses. Hell, you don't tell me we can win 2 or 3 more wins next year. I mean, it's right there. They just got to add some pieces. Pray to God we stay healthy. That's the main thing. Is this is the second year that we've been derailed by massive injuries on massive key parts. So, I mean, we've got to get past this injury bug. They need first. If anybody's going to get fired, they need to fire the strength and conditioning coach.
I don't know if they need to fire him, but they need Dan to calm the fuck down in practice. They have plays. They have players now that are set in stone in this team that they've paid. Let's go a little lighter on practice and stop trying to kill everybody in joint practices and practice all the time. That's killing them right now because in the end of the year, guess what's happening? You get a lot more injuries, a lot more people are getting all banged up. And
there's truth to that. You're right. But then how much are you taking away from the physicality that is the Lions?
That is they already have the physicality on them. Well, really, what you have to apply to physicality now is to the rookies and to the second-year players and the free agents that come in there. That's where you have to apply the grit now because you already have your main players to understand what the grit is. So they're going to go out there and kill it with everything they have. They do this all the time. This is the reason why they've been successful for the last 2 years. It's catching up to them now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got Amon St. Brown out there dropping passes because he's hurt most of the time. And I'm sure his mind's not focused on his job per se. So they're just beat up. They just need to.
I agree.
Like I was making the same comparison with the Philadelphia Eagles. When they won their Super Bowl, the next couple of years, they sucked ass. They were bad. They were at the bottom of their division. Then they decided that, you know, they started building up again and rebuilding, and they got into another Super Bowl. They lost that one. But then after that point, they had a continuous years of being successful. So, and then they won the Super Bowl. And this is probably a year they're going to fall off again. But still, falling off and winning your division and getting put out of the playoffs is still a good accomplishment, considering all the crap you went through. They had a different offensive coordinator.
So, yeah, but let's be honest.
That's what the Lions are going through
all year. I mean,
but that's what the Lions are going through. I mean, the Lions, you can't say too much about ass when the Lions been playing like that the whole year too.
No, but the reality is that's where it is in our division. Like Jordan Love's not going anywhere. Caleb's not going anywhere. Minnesota, if they can figure out who the hell their quarterback is at some point, they're not going anywhere. Goff's not going anywhere. I honestly think like this is going to be a year, or this is going to be going forward where you don't know who's going to win this division. All these teams are very similar in a lot of areas. They're very talented. It's going to come down to coaching. It's going to come down to schemes. It's going to come down to matchups and all that. Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, the Lions got their ass handed to them. We've handed that division their ass twice in 2 years. They got us the best this year. let's see what happens next year. We're probably bringing it back most of our roster, and we'll probably add some pieces in the draft and maybe some free agents. But the core is there. They're not going anywhere.
Well, that's what I was telling Jay Weezy a while back when we were having a text conversation. I said, let's hold off on the SOL until we see how this particular group deals with adversity. This is considered adversity. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, we're 13-12. We're going." Well, this is a down. When we see it as being a down, we could be 9-8 at the end of the year, but it wasn't a successful year because we didn't get the playoffs. No. And that's what you want your mindset for your franchise to be, right? Like Dallas. Yeah, you got crazy ass fans that say it's our year every year, but they're used to a certain way to play. They're used to a certain chance. They're used to winning the Super Bowls. Same with New England. Look at New England fans now. They're talking a whole bunch of shit because they're number one in their division.
Packers.
And they could basically go to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, they said we could do it without Tom Brady now. See, and that's what I'm saying. It's just things that it's just a rotation of things. You just got to see what your team is like after this kind of a season. If this regime comes out there and says, okay, we're going to do this, and this because we didn't do this last year, and we're going to make sure that we get everybody on the same page, and boom, they do good. They make the playoffs. And even if they don't make the Super Bowl, to me, that would be something that it was, adverse conditions. And they got in the playoffs, and they got, maybe to the second round of the playoffs, and they lose. But they got there.
Yeah,
that's the goal is to get into playoffs.
Yeah,
at least.
Exactly. The goal next year is get the playoffs. Get to the playoffs, win your division if you can, and go from there. And let the chips fall where they fall. But it's going to be an interesting offseason. We're going to be talking a lot more in the offseason about what they're doing and all that. But I'll say this, and then we'll wrap it up. This is where Brad Holmes shines in certain areas. So this is his time. So we'll see it. All right. And that will bring on Liz.
Liz. El Toro.
Speaking of where we want to be at. Bring on Liz.
Hey, I didn't think it was going to be possible. We started 0-3.
8 in a row, Houston Texans.
Yes.
Take it away, Liz.
We'll see. So, what's up, Texans fam? I'm going to say it with my chest. So, the whole week, and the trolls can hear it. And y'all guys, let me know what your Cash App is because I'm about to go ham on some cuss words. Put some fucking respect on the Houston Texans already. Especially the analyst, Jeremy Fowler. He's one of these analysts that I follow, and I'm just like, he just stated that.
What did he say?
Fowler stated that Inglewood was supposed to be a test for the Houston Texans because he didn't believe that the defense is that good. So the test was basically, we won. So CJ Stroud came out hot. I was like, that's my boy. He did a 75-yard laser to Ricky Higgins and then blink, and it's 6. And then a 43-yard strike to Noel, eating like it's Sunday dinner at Big Mama's house. 14 points. 14 points all in the first quarter. I was like, wow, this is going to be a game. All before I even got my nachos. I was like, what? It's already happening. This is great. Stroud started strong, but the win belongs to the defense because Stroud did fall off. He did kind of like lose his confidence a little bit. But again, we won. 5 sacks, different faces, same pressure, quarterback seeking ghost timing, all measured up. Barnett said, say less and drop 2 sacks. Hunter, I always have a hard time saying his name. Two flying around with 12 tackles, moving like he got H-Town. Yeah, 2-2. He got H-Town heat in his veins.
Yeah.
Toa.
I just call him 2 toes.
Yeah, he did great. He was amazing. Defense, oh my God. They're just so good. They're third coast certified. Number 1 in the league in yards allowed. Number 1 in points allowed. 16.6 a game. That ain't luck. That's D'Amico Ryan's football. Coach said these boys show up every single fucking game. Sorry. Let me know y'all cash out so I can
Real thing.
for my customers.
Listen, real thing.
Look, as Bun B said on Sunday, it's trill, baby. And Houston knows exactly what that means. The Chargers didn't even sniff the end zone until late in the third. Herbert, he's a real one. He walked off giving nothing but they walked off giving nothing but respect to him, which is great because that shows leadership.
Yep.
Because when the Texans hit you, fly to the ball in close space like that. You feel it. 8 wins now in a row. 3rd straight playoff berth. History made. First time ever in this franchise. Everyone knows exactly who they are. If you're still sleeping on the Texans, that's on you because you're a hater. Because this team, they're built for January. Built for pressure and built for the heat. Now, I'm going to dig in to this last game of 2025 season. We play the Colts this Sunday in our stadium, NRG. First, what they need to do is force the quarterback to move. Jacksonville didn't beat Indy by lighting it up through the air. They made the quarterback uncomfortable, sped up his clock, and forced him into mistakes. Second is make them drive the long field. The Colts needed kickoff returns and short field just to score. When they had to go full length of the field, they stalled. Houston defense thrives when teams have to earn every yard. Third, and my final note, shut the door late. Indy actually had moments in the game, but when it mattered, the Jags stayed disciplined and closed the pressure and a takeaway in the end zone. The Colts have shown that they don't finish well under stress. Houston does. Stroud, if you're listening,
they lost
I
their
pray.
quarterback. Let's be honest. Come on.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm just hitting you with the truth. They lost their fucking quarterback. You lose your starting quarterback, a lot of teams aren't going to win.
Oh, you talking about Indianapolis? Well, hey.
The Colts, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So Stroud, I pray for you always, but my man, stay patient and run the damn ball. Defense, I love you, and you keep applying pressure without blinking. Petrie, you owe me money. It was my bad mistake anyways. I made a bad bet, but it's okay. I love you. Petrie, you owe me 3 interceptions. So the Colts are carrying the weight of 6 straight losses. They're about to end their season with another loss against Texans. So let me stand up. Let's all swarm. So I do have a question for y'all guys. Can the Texans defense lead them to the Super Bowl?
Absolutely.
By themselves? No.
Fuck yeah. I absolutely think that.
There's 2 sides of the football.
Just say it, Jay. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, they can. Remember what the Giants did? Remember that Giants offense was pedestrian when they went to the Super Bowl. And it was the defense that got them that Super Bowl.
It's a different time.
Thanks, Brent.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. They can. It's not a team in the AFC right now that I think that can get through Buffalo's defense. They have to be a high-scoring offense and being able to at least score 24 to 27 points to beat Houston. And Houston ain't let people get up on them like that, bro. Houston is ferocious, man.
Yeah, I think it's
So you think so? B, what do you think?
I think this is the best defense I've seen since. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying this is the best defense since I've seen the Ravens play. And they get after the quarterback. I'm not saying they're the Ravens. Ain't nobody gonna match that.
Better than the Ravens.
Not even 85 Bears.
Before that, you think they're better than that?
I know. I didn't say that.
I mean, I'm just
they're just as good as they're. That's the best defense I've seen since the Ravens. I haven't seen really too many defenses with that kind of tenacity that the Houston team has right now.
Titans. When they played the Rams.
That
that defense was damn good.
They
I'm
lost.
just saying.
They lost to the greatest. They lost to the greatest show on turf. So
Yeah, it wasn't because of defense. Go ahead.
Well, that's because the Rams played better defense than the Titans did. But anyway, I don't even know how you putting the Titans in that.
I don't even know what you're saying. The second best defense is the Ravens. I don't agree with that at all. But go ahead.
Anyway, Houston can win the Super Bowl with this defense because you know what? Nobody plays anymore, Harley. Anyway, is defense. Now you're seeing these teams are starting to change around, change their teams around defense because they're figuring out how to play defense with the rules that are set in the NFL now, which I like. Somebody's being smart and figuring this shit out, and I'm getting tired of NFL keep trying to make everything offensive. I love defensive games.
There's nothing wrong with defense. However, in this NFL era, you have to win with quarterback play too. Okay, the Eagles did not win that Super Bowl without Jalen Hurts playing well. Okay, the thing is that the Texans don't run the football well, so which means the defense is going to be on the field a lot because they're going to have a lot of 3 and outs. So you're going to wear that defense down, and you're hoping the offense can pick up the slack. I've told you 20 million times, Liz, I don't trust Stroud. I think he's an okay quarterback. But you look at that Chargers game, if Dicker, the kicker, doesn't miss that field goal, doesn't miss the extra point, it's a whole different ball game. And on top of that, they scored all their points in the beginning and didn't do shit the rest of the game. You can't do that in the playoffs because in the playoffs, you actually play really good teams, and they're going to be playing good quarterbacks.
And
I know you said it before. I know you said it before, Nate. I get what you're saying for sure. But the thing is like, I get it. A lot of people hate on Stroud. I mean, there's a point to where I even hate on him because he's not doing his job. I don't know if we are going to go all the way to Super Bowl because there is good game. There is AFC is, they got Broncos. Like, I don't know.
I think it's only one team in the AFC that's staying in front of Houston, and that is Denver.
Yeah.
I think they could beat
I think it's Denver.
Patriots can
beat. I think they can beat Buffalo again. I think really the only team that stands in front of Houston is the Broncos. It's the Steelers and the playoffs. Right.
Robbie, get some love.
Anybody but the Packers. I'll say anybody but the Packers and Bears.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I feel like my Texans. Yeah.
Let me put this to you. You mentioned the Patriots. The Patriots don't really have that great of an offensive line. They've been getting by.
It's going to catch up.
It's up for the MVP, man.
It's going to catch up to them. I definitely.
But they haven't been playing anybody comparable on defense. That's the point.
We'll see. Good quarterback or better defense. We'll see what wins out.
I mean, Buffalo has one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Everybody tells me, but he got sacked 8 times by the Houston Texans. So
he gave them, bruh. They gave Josh Allen hell.
The business.
And he was just that whole game.
Well, for the Texans, go ahead.
The only team that I see that will be really good competition for Houston in the AFC is Denver, because Denver has just as good as defense as Houston. Even though Houston is the best defense, Denver is real close to that. They are real close to that because they get after the quarterback really good. So I would want that. If it comes down to that, and it's going to be in Denver too.
For the Texans,
I just hope Houston doesn't have to go through that route, because if they have to play Denver and Denver, it's not going to.
But here's the thing. For the Texans to get to the Super Bowl, they're going to have to win every game on the road.
Yep.
That's the thing.
New York did it. It's not impossible.
It's not impossible.
Yeah, it's definitely not impossible.
Denver did it too.
Yeah. It's not impossible. The Texans have been making all of these teams nervous. And we have 2 shutdown corners. And we have speed in the middle in our defense. So we could just if we could just run the damn ball for Stroud, that'll be
and to Nate's point,
any other team.
He is solid about CJ Stroud, though.
I'll tell you this.
he could either be that quarterback that you saw get a 14-0 lead, or the quarterback
we talked that about
stupid-ass
Love. We
pass.
talked that about Caleb. Like, are they
Yeah,
they're
he's gotta
good?
be more
I'll
They're
tell you
good.
how good y'all's defense is. You give somebody like Cincinnati this defense, they're definitely the number 1 seed in the AFC right now. You give, a team like the Giants this defense, they're in the
Lions
playoffs.
that defense. Oh, we're definitely winning Super Bowl.
I ain't even go. You know what, B? Come on, it's too early, bro. Too soon.
Yeah.
But you give
I'm
a
just
lot
saying.
of type of defense. They're
No, the defense again. The defense is good. There's no doubt. I'm not questioning the defense, but you've got to be able to put up points. And can this offense put up consistent points game in and game out on the road? I don't know. They haven't done it yet. They haven't won a playoff game on the road. Let's win a playoff game, and then we'll see where they're going from there. That's the big barometer for them. They got to win on the road because that's where they're going to be on.
You got my vote. I think you guys can make the Super Bowl. Will it happen? I don't think so, because Denver is good. I think Denver is actually the real deal on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they are.
But your defense is good enough to get you to the Super Bowl. Absolutely, 100%.
We'll see.
If you
Any
beat
given
Denver, you
Sunday.
got to beat them early, because you
Yeah.
can't beat them. You
Start
can't
off
wait
early.
until the fourth quarter.
Well,
and
they're
beat
more
them.
likely going to go against the Patriots because Denver's
Denver going to step on the gas, and Houston have to start slow. They have to.
I
go out there
am
and
to see
punch
how
some
they
of them
play
out,
against
too.
the Patriots. That's going to be a good matchup because Drake May's no slouch, man. Drake May's tore up some damn good defenses.
I don't
with
think we're
smile-
playing the
with a smile on his
Patriots.
face. Well, I'm
Hey,
saying
Robbie,
if
I
Denver
agree.
gets the number 1 seed,
Denver
y'all are
gets the
going to
number 1
play
seed. You're gonna
because
be
y'all are
playing,
the last seed. Y'all are going to play the Patriots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are they
We'll
last?
see what happens any given Sunday. But before I go, I do want to send a shout out because I didn't do it last week. I just wanted to say a big shout out to Forever Faith Apparel for the merch, and I
Yeah, thank
appreciate
you.
y'all guys so much. The purpose, the faith and the grind that y'all do, and the purpose stitch into every piece. I loved it, and I just wanted to show
Yeah, thank you
love,
very
Daphne
much.
and David. Thank you guys so much. And I
Thank
also
you,
want
guys.
to show love. I also want to show love to my fam bam in Houston. I will hopefully see y'all this Sunday at the game. Happy New Year, and thank y'all guys for having me on the show.
Yeah.
So right now, you know who Houston's playing? They're playing Pittsburgh
As of right now,
as of right now.
But if
Yeah.
they lose,
Sorry, Robbie.
But if Jacksonville gets the division, then they're going to drop to either 6 or 7, I think.
Well, Jacksonville's already got the division. I pretty much
Yeah.
can guarantee you
Yeah.
that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. So they're going to be
So
6 or
right now,
7 or
Jacksonville.
whatever.
Unfortunately, we're going to have a rematch from the last year. I think didn't these two teams meet before Jacksonville and the Chargers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the one where the
That's
Chargers
gonna be a rematch.
Jacksonville came back. Yeah.
and then New
It'll
England's
be
playing
interesting.
Buffalo, which will be
It'll
hilarious.
be interesting. But the main thing is y'all are in the match. We're not.
God,
Yeah.
sounds
We
salty.
got next year.
We showed up to the party
We got
too
next
late, too drunk. Anyways.
There was a
Well,
party.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, should have been a party this year, but anyways, I want to thank everybody for liking and subscribing to the show, checking out the show. We'll have our final show on Tuesday, just recapping the Lions probably lost, more likely, and just kind of talk a little more about the offseason and what the plan is going to look like and go from there. Liz, you're going to be back next week, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you'll be back talking about
He'll give her playoff stuff, and then we'll just talk
we'll do
about.
it.
Well, I mean, we can talk about playoff teams that we think and give our Super Bowl predictions and stuff like that. I mean,
Sounds cool. I appreciate it, and I will be back next Tuesday.
I think we basically talked a lot about that today, anyway. Yeah, that's a good thing there, Brett. Too, we can talk about who's going to be Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year. We can do that too if you want.
It's Vrabel. Yeah, Ben.
I think it's Vrabel.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
Vrabel
did a good job.
It's Vrabel or Shanahan or anybody else, but Ben. No, it's not Ben.
I don't want to shade at Ben Johnson.
Really. Ben did a terrific job.
Ben Johnson had a good team. It wasn't like he over a 4 or 5 win team.
Exactly.
I'll tell you this.
Vrabel, they won 3 games last year for Vrabel.
Caleb went from 68 sacks to I think 20. I think he's got 24, 25 now.
Now, let's be
fair.
Improvement. He can run. He that is improvement, but he also can run. If he was a stationary,
He could run last year.
40 sacks.
There ain't nothing wrong with his legs last year. He had no
Well,
offensive
he
line.
was
And Ben
running
Johnson
backwards. He
went
ran
out in the
backwards a lot.
offseason and made sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's called coaching up.
Yeah.
And that's what
well, he
Ben
also
did
got
to-
he also got
to
the line
Caleb.
right too.
And he got the line right. But it's the first thing he did. So
Yep.
I think that gives him a leg up too in the coach of the year. I'm not saying he's going to win it. I would pick Vrabel because Vrabel's done a lot more with that team from what New England was the year before than what Chicago was the year before. But I wouldn't put it past him to Liam Cohen's another guy. Yep, he's another guy. Yeah, the Jags coach. Yeah. So I mean, we can all come up with stuff like that.
Yeah,
if you guys want to do that.
We can have a discussion, talk about that. But want to thank everybody for the show. Y'all have yourself a blessed evening. Have a happy new year. As always, you hate us, but you ain't us. And we'll see you on Tuesday next week for the final show of the season. Peace.
Hasta luego.